5 feet wide, traveling up to 25,000 miles an hour, spotted in 4 states.
He thought for sure we were being invaded by the Martians. So.
Well, it is the talk of the town and the region tonight, the flash of light in the dark morning sky.
Tonight, in-depth coverage of the meteor sighting, which lasted only 5 seconds but was caught on dozens of cameras. Jeff Humphrey is with the Spokane man who has a meteorite collection. First to KXLY4's Annie Bishop live on the sky deck tonight. Annie, this meteor was spotted across 4 different states.
Even north to Alberta. Some experts say that this meteor was actually 5 feet wide and broke through the Earth's atmosphere at a whopping 25,000 miles an hour, which of course would explain why it was here 1 minute and gone the next.
I just have never seen anything like that before.
Spokane?
It was a blue and red with a big white middle.
To Seattle.
Just really phenomenal to see that.
Yes. South to Boise and Oregon.
And it was the size of the moon, and it was flashing white and yellow.
A white ball of fire blasted across the region early this morning. Seth Baker saw it as he drove to work in Airway Heights.
I stopped to get some gas and got in my car and looked up, and there's just a big bright, beautiful light in the sky.
The Idaho Air National Guard captured this video of the meteor blasting over Boise at 5:30 this morning. In Spokane, a local security company captured the same bright image jetting across the clear sky. Seconds later, it's gone. A flash of light was also spotted off the helicopter pad at Valley Medical Center. The Federal Aviation Administration says a private pilot watched the meteor crash into the ground near State Route 26 in Adams County. Today, however, we couldn't find a thing.
I'd like to know where it landed.
Perhaps it landed here off Neptune Lane in North Spokane. John Sterner didn't see the meteor, but his boss sure did.
And he saw a big flash of light, and then there was 2 other kind of like shutters flash of light as he was coming up. So he thought for sure we were being invaded by the Martians.
I don't believe in aliens.
Something that you just don't see very often. So I just don't want it landing at my house is the only thing.
And the Spokane Astronomical Society believes the meteor most likely burned up before hitting the ground. We received no reports of meteor-related injuries or property damage. Reporting live, Annie Bishop, KXLY4.
Annie, thank you. The vast majority of meteors burn up in the atmosphere, but about once a month, space debris about the size of a basketball lands somewhere here on Earth. In-depth coverage continues with KXLY4's Jeff Humphrey, who caught up with a Spokane man who has his very own meteorite collection.
Well, meteors that actually strike the Earth are called meteorites, and this one belongs to space enthusiast and Spokane resident Joe Bruce.
Well, it landed in Africa. It's a nickel iron with a very thin fusion crust on it, and probably broke up as it was passing through the atmosphere because there were more than one piece. I have obviously a small piece, and there were other pieces of that collected.
However, the majority of short-lived meteors we see are really not much bigger than a pebble. The ones that stick around long enough to be videotaped, usually a blend of ice and space rock.
And as they enter the Earth's atmosphere, they're very small for the most part. When you see a normal meteor shower, you'll end up with little tiny chunks that make a big show, and they're no bigger than this.
But there are exceptions. This 2007 crater in Peru caused by a meteorite just the size of a large pizza. This mile-wide divot in Arizona displaced by a space rock half the size of a football field. You only have to look at the craters on the moon to realize how lucky we are that most meteors burn up in the atmosphere. Because the Earth is covered with about 75% water, it's likely this morning's meteor ended up in the Pacific Ocean. But if you can find a meteorite, even a small one, it's worth a lot of money to both science as well as collectors. This little small piece of space debris probably worth several $1,000s. Reporting in Spokane, Jeff Humphrey, KXLY4.